the Giorgio Arman, that definitely stole the show as far as viral. I mean, usually after a weekend, my algorithm's showing me UFC knockouts and fights. This weekend it's showing me RAF, and I
I
just
know.
love it. You know,
Super
it's
sick
pretty
that
sick.
they basically outshine the UFC this weekend. That's what I'm saying. Like every weekend, they're doing better and better. So just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like how they're also making some more competitive matchups because earlier on it seemed to be some mismatches, but now they're getting
Mm-hmm.
closer with some of the matchups. I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. A
Yeah.
side, B
Like
side. Yeah. Now
Giorgio
they're
and
more coin flips.
yeah,
Yeah.
Giorgio and Muggsy, that was a cool match. And then Armon and Lance Palmer, that was a cool match. But I really
Mm-hmm.
liked the Giorgio and Armon match, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Right. Yeah. Neither was attack. It was much more competitive. And George is a lifelong wrestler. He, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's like a state champ or Ironman champ, so, from Ohio, like one of the tougher wrestling states.
Right.
So I
He's
mean,
a
I don't know. Does he
freestyle
wrestle
champ,
next?
he's a folk
He
style
is.
champ, and then he's an
Yeah.
Ironman champ, all in high school.
So that's what I mean. I don't know if he took it to the next level or had any success, but he has some wrestling pedigree behind him. That's Arman's second freestyle match ever. So pretty good for both sides. Pretty good for Arman being willing to put his brand on the line and step up in another guy's domain, and then come up victorious in pursuit of that, like while going into wrestling. And it's like Arman's fighting coming into wrestling, and Georgie kind of turned the wrestling into a fight, bringing the clubs from outside the shoulders and all the antics, grabbing Arman's fingers and twisting, and then the eye pokes and the pushing. So
The extra
he
time in between periods with the
all the
tape on the
antics.
fingers, very
Oh
veteran
my
move. I
God.
was saying, I was like, I don't know what you
Trying to
want to
get out of the
call it.
match. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really thought after Arman finally had enough and retaliated with a slap of his own that the match was gonna. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's just not gonna get wrestled. Then Izzy came out, kind of dissolved the issue, and they continued. But yeah, I mean, you know, anybody that saw that kind of saw what George was trying to do, right? Like provoke Arman and like make win by no contest. I don't know. I don't know.
Call
Maybe
it
he's
like
trying to
a
do a
veteran
lawsuit.
savviness, call it like
Yeah, I don't
cheapskate. I
know.
don't know what you want to call it, but Giorgio pulled out all
Mhm.
the fucking tricks in this match. You got
Yeah,
to
for
give it to
sure.
him. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And still came up short against a guy that's only wrestled one freestyle match ever. So kind of shows why he, probably doesn't have that next level success or any college acumen or senior level accolades. Or I saw him also say it's just why, because Armand goes, get taken down, you never give up takedown. He's never. So why you not Olympic champ? Ah, it's not my goal. And by that logic, why don't I got seven figures and debt free life? That's not my goal. Anything I never accomplished wasn't even my goal.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
so give a fair play there. He's gotta kind of got to answer for everything. But I don't know. I think he's on some good vitamins because he seems to be all over the place. I saw your interview with him. You sent it to me yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
These people request me to wrestle this person, that person. Like, bro, you want me to go knock on his door and wake him up? Like, what do you like? What?
I guess the Pat Downey one, that's the main one people want to see, huh?
I don't really know anything about Pat Downey. I guess he had reached out to me a couple of times. He actually ended up blocking me because I never replied. But Pat Downey, it's just like he unblocked me now because I had made a YouTube video about it. But and we met in person, and he was all cool with me, whatever. But Pat Downey, it just doesn't make sense for me to do the video with It's I would do it with him, yeah. I don't have a problem with that. But really, what's on the table for that for me, right? Like Pat Downey, he's got essentially no followers. He just wants some clout. Like I get nothing really out of that. When I'm versing a guy like Armand compared to Pat Downey, why would I choose Pat Downey when I can wrestle Armand? So there's just different things that go into it. But it's like I said, I'll do it with anyone and everyone, and that's what I stood by. Is there something about the Pat Downey thing that that I don't know about?
No, just I've seen him call you out a lot in the past too. And then I see people think that like Pat's the one to expose you to pay out
Where
the 1 grand.
where has Pat Downey called me out?
I think he's posted on his stories and maybe even commented on like your posts and stuff like that. Have you not seen?
I've seen a couple times he used to comment on my posts, but other than that, I never seen him make a post about me or anything. But I mean, I make my posts on social media, and that's it. I don't really check out what everybody else is doing.
I think it was more so like 6 months ago. He was more hell bent on the call out. I haven't really heard him say much about you over the last 6 months, so it's
Yeah, well,
nothing of late.
when you're in the hot spot, everybody's gonna try and get attention from you.
Yeah, definitely for sure. So would you be like opposed to competing against Pat, or it just really hasn't worked out like where it's manifested itself?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. No, it just hasn't. The opportunity really hasn't been there. Like I said, come find me when I have this sign. Like, you want me to go to this dude's house, knock on his door, wake him up? I ran into Pat Downey at RAF a couple times. I ended up riding in his car with his buddy. Like, these people talk a lot of shit online, but when they see me in person, it's all love.
Mm. So even like when you guys kicked it, there wasn't much talk about let's run this match that I've been calling you out for.
No, not one mention of it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, if he did call you out, would you have ran it right then and there, like hypothetically?
On the mat,
Like if you, because you were kicking it with Pat, you guys were in the same car. If you were to be like, yo, let's run this video right now, like could you guys have ran it then?
it depends what situation we're in. We were at weigh-ins. We had a match that same day. So going straight into the match, like it wouldn't make sense for me to wrestle him right before my match.
Yeah, that would, I agree with you there. That wouldn't make too much sense. I was just curious because since you guys were together, but you guys were both competing on that weekend. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Are you friends with Pat Downey?
I've done interviews with him, but it's not
Should
like
we
I'm on his
should,
side or anything.
should we call him?
Do you want me to? I mean, we don't got to.
I mean, if you would like to call him, we can call him.
Do you have something to say to him? I mean, I haven't talked to him in a minute. Maybe I can call him on FaceTime.
We could ask him about his curiosity in wrestling me and what the call outs are about.
And yeah, so one hand he acts like he doesn't know me with the takedown challenge, but I showed you I DM'd him before asking to do the challenge and and like how, I commented on a video, hey, let a real wrestler try your challenge because you have like he even speaks that he's wrestled his whole life. Like, so you're gonna look really good against untrained civilians. That was my whole gripe. And then he spoke on me blocking him, which was funny because he like took it personally because it was like he was insinuating that I didn't like him, and like, dude, I block myself sometimes. Like I did an ad with Anaconda, and you get these ads, or like maybe his marketing team does ads or something, but people that like annoy me, like spam, or like I keep seeing the same shit in the algorithm, I'll block it. Like I just did, I'll block. Like I don't think anything of it. But then I saw he was on RAF, and I unblocked the kid. And first reaction in real life, he comes up to me like, "Hey Pat, my cousin knows you, super cool. He definitely knows who I am." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, we're half cousins. I'm in the family. T Star's cool as hell. That's my girl." So like he definitely knows me, bro. He wrestled a couple years younger than me in high school. So it's like one end he's like, "Hey, I don't do this for clout. I let anybody give the challenge," and then the other hand, he's like, "Oh, I need Arman, a bigger brand to boost it." And I post on Tinder or Twitter or whatever these apps are, TikTok. He's like talking about how he's a influencer, so he wants clout and wants a big brand name. But then he says, "Oh, let anybody do the challenge. Why can't I do the challenge?" And my whole thing is like, you stole the challenge from my boy Dylan Palacio. Give credit where it's
Oh,
due. That's the original take me down for 1,000 guy. Arma,
okay.
I mean, yeah, George just kind of blew up more with it, but I got so many people tagging me in his videos like, "Let Pat Downey try, let me try," and I finally am like, "Hey, I'll take you down, bro." So it's like at this point now that I've spoken on it to you publicly, if he doesn't accept the takedown challenge from me, he's just a bitch, right? Like
Well, I mean, he did say he's down to run it with you, but it was like one of those weird
that's what
ones,
I
like you're
mean.
saying, because he goes like, "I'd be down to run it with Pat," but then it doesn't make sense for me because he doesn't have a lot of followers and like
How
nobody
doesn't
really
it make
knows him.
sense?
But
I'm a
then it's
senior
like,
level world team member. I'm a U.S. Open champ. Everybody knows me in the wrestling community, and I'm bigger than him. So there would be no excuse for anybody. This would be a way for him to put unequivocally, no doubt in anybody's mind that he's legit and not getting taken down. And I'll one up it for him. He gives me 1,000 if I take him down. I'll give him 10 if I can't take him down. So 10 to
oh
1
damn,
odds, George. 10 to 1 odds, George.
and
Now
that's
he's really
just
a bitch. Now he's really a bitch if you don't
yeah,
accept.
and that's
You know
just
what I
if
mean?
you don't take him down. 10K if you don't take
Yeah.
him down,
Yeah. I
but
can't take him
1K to
down.
you if he takes you
Yeah.
down, or if you take him
Yeah.
down.
Exactly. We run it. I don't know how long you get. couple minutes or something. I don't know. You know, get a little circle. Obviously, you can't have the dude out and freaking running around from me, sprinting in a parking lot, or running from me on the beat. You know, you gotta have a little
Form a
way to
circle.
touch him. Yeah, get a little
Yeah.
circle or something. But then he goes on semantics too. He's trying to say he didn't get taken down against Arman. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, okay. Before we get into the Armand thing, just to wrap it up with like you and Giorgio. See, I was saying how you've been calling him out, and I was kind of pressing him. Did you notice that he kind of like started pressing me back? He's like, "You friends with Pat? Like, call him right now."
yeah, I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw it. But that's just you knowing that like I would be a legitimate, you know, test for that challenge. You
And
know what
it
I
all
mean?
it comes from is we just want to see how good Giorgio is. That's all it is, you know. It's not like there's
Mhm.
no because I see you saying like people are hating, you know, who say that I haven't wrestled anybody, and I'm not even of that logic of like you haven't wrestled anybody. I'm just like, you know, you versus Pat. He's the one calling you out. There's this $1,000 take me down challenge. So I'm just kind of bringing
Yeah,
this to the forefront because the fans think you're the guy to expose him, and that's what I told him on the
yeah, I
podcast
heard you.
too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, exactly. And I don't have a no hate on the guy. I'm just saying if you really let anybody do the challenge, like let me do the challenge. That's all.
Mhm. Yeah. What about this car situation? Like, you guys were in a car or something like that, and like everything's just cool with you guys, or because he mentioned that, and then I was like, damn. So you guys could have just ran it right then and there, and then he's like, well, we
Yeah,
had our
yeah,
matches coming up, and they're like, well, that makes sense too. You know, that all makes
yeah.
sense to
No,
me. Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't trying to challenge them there on the spot of RAF. You know, I'm like wrestling world and Olympic champs. I'm not trying to wrestle a guy shorter and smaller and lighter than me. I'm not challenging him to a freestyle match. I just don't think it would be competitive. But the takedown challenge is something that he's viral and known for that I think the fans would love to see. And back to your point with the car situation, his cameraman got sidetracked and me and my guy had a rental and we were just like, hey, we just finished our media or weigh-in, some one of our little obligations that you have in the itinerary, and he was outside and I just said he can hop in on the ride back with us to the from the venue to the hotel, you know.
Okay. So it's just some chill shit. You're being nice guy.
Yeah, I was like, hey, George, you need a ride? You looking to get back to the room? We're going there. And he hopped in.
Okay, for sure. And I was gonna say too. Oh yeah, who's this T Star? This is a female cousin of his or what?
Yeah. Tiffany. Yeah, it's his cousin. And then he knew I know her and she's told me about him and I didn't really understand who he was when she told me and then once he said it, I put it all together. And then I ended up hitting her up about it. I was like, "Oh, I met your cousin. I get it. I get it now. I know." You know, so we all know each other and we keep it in the fam.
Okay, you guys. I just have to ask this. You guys like dated or something or no?
Yeah, we just hung out, man. I've known her since we met on a cruise after I won Fargo. Yeah, on my 19th birthday, she was cool as hell there, and we both lived around each other and so close. So we kept in touch. We still keep in touch. She's cool.
Okay, got you. And the last thing about this whole take me down thing I think I got is somebody did press Giorgio at the press conference with Armand, and they were like, allegedly you've been taken down, and a lot of people have confirmed you've been taken down, but you have not
Yeah,
posted the footage, and you're on the inside of the whole wrestling scene. So have you heard any of these rumors or anything? I actually hadn't heard any of these rumors until that lady asked him. So I'm just relaying this to you to see if there's any validation there.
bro, that's not my loop. I'm not in the wrestler influence. You heard how Ben Askren talked about the match and his the
Oh my
tactics.
god,
Like
Ben Askin was fucking. Oh
that's
my goodness
that's
gracious.
my line of thinking, man. The news I'm getting is like Sajulayev signing. I'm looking at the world medalists. I'm looking at the
Okay,
ranking series. I'm trying to see who the new fresh meat is in the brackets of these weight. You know what I mean?
you're not
Dude,
asking has Giorgio been taken down
I
yet?
just don't even know the cat. I wouldn't. That's not my loop, dog. Like I don't know, man. I
Okay,
don't
for
know.
sure. Fair enough then. Fair enough. So we don't know. Could be cap. It could be real. I don't. But
Yeah,
I guess. Have you do you think he's doing it anymore? Because
I
to be
I
honest with
promise you
you,
this. I promise you this.
yeah.
Everybody, every human alive has been taken down that wrestles. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. Okay, so two things I just want to mention about this, but the one thing I was just asking is, like, do you think he still does it? Because for some reason, I get the vibe that the take me down challenge is done with. Like he doesn't run it anymore. I was kind of
Oh,
scrolling through
really?
the IG, and they look like they're all kind of like older videos because he got like longer hair now and shit. So just
Gotcha.
kind of like off the first top of my head, I was like, oh, it seems like these are like maybe from 6 months ago. Like he hasn't really filmed a new one as of late. Do you know if he's
Yeah,
still doing it,
again,
or again, you're
I
paying attention to
wouldn't even know,
UWW?
man. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Like the only times I knew about him doing it was when people would tag me in him doing it, and then I would respond on the video or DM him. You know, I'd be
Mm,
like, "Hey, let me do it," or like I'd see it and I'd be like, "Hey, nice, let me get a try." But that was the extent of like my involvement.
okay. And I did want to mention to you because maybe a lot of people are wondering. I think you might be one of them about his accolades in college. So let me just lay it out real quick, just to kind of like let you know about him a little bit. So apparently he went to Cleveland State University. He competed his true
Oh, he did?
freshman year.
Was
Yeah, he
that
did.
D1?
I believe
That's
it's
D1 double
D1.
A?
Yeah,
I
D1.
think so.
Because this is what he went on to tell me is that he competed his true freshman year, and then I looked it up, and it is a negative record. But I don't think that's that bad because, competing as a true freshman is pretty, tough in its own right, no?
Yeah, dude, D1 wrestling's hard anywhere.
As a fresh 18-year-old, I mean, yeah, it's pretty tough. So it's not like I'm looking down on him for even having a negative record his freshman year, but I see a lot of people are shitting on him for that. But then he redshirted his sophomore year, and then he competed, and then he dropped out his junior year of college altogether to pursue like being a fitness influencer, and then it kind of morphed into being a wrestling influencer type thing. But one last thing I want to mention about it is his true freshman year, he tried to qualify for the NCAAs, but in his finals match, he went up against Marsteller. Marsteller is real good, and Marsteller beat him. So he wasn't able to compete in the NCAAs his true freshman year. So that's kind of his story. He didn't qualify for the NCAAs, but he did compete his true freshman year. It was a negative record. And then he redshirted sophomore year, lost passion for wrestling, and dropped out junior year. So that's the Giorgio kind of like lore, if you will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, D1 wrestling. It's not everybody.
Just a minute. You've forgotten your phone.
The hell?
Weird. Did you hear that? The car.
I did hear that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to
So
unplug.
not much thoughts on Giorgio's like wrestling collegiate career.
Yeah, I mean, dude, college wrestling is very hard. One of the hardest things I've ever done. Yeah. Qualifying for the NCAA tournament, getting degrees, becoming an All-American, me having all these fail. I still call my college career a failure. So who am I to, judge another man's path?
Yeah. Yeah, I respect Giorgio's college career, to be honest with you. It was a tough one, but hey, that's the story for everybody. Not everybody can be NCAA champs. You feel me? Did you
Yeah,
redshirt
so
at
many
all
other
in
things to
college?
go on too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Olympic red shirt, gray shirts, injury red shirt. I had a hell of a career.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that, like, to put it in perspective, it's like if you do compete your true freshman year, then, there's a chance you're going up against like some 25-year-old, like fucking Starachi or
Oh
some
yeah.
shit by the time he graduated. So just to put in perspective for
Oh
people.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's a tough thing.
It's gotten even crazier. Yeah, the COVID year. You got. Yeah, yeah. There's so many
A
loopholes.
bunch of shit. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. The COVID adds another year to it.
Facts.